What's good, guys? Yes, it's me, Coach Vito, aka Kevin, aka The GOAT. What's up? I hope everybody's having a great day so far. Now, I didn't really have a video planned for today, but however, I did find this recording. I had a 15-minute workout at the gym, just free flowing. Now, this is something you could do anywhere, as I always like to preach in my videos. You're able to do this at home. You could do this at the gym. You could do this in your basement, in your garage, literally anywhere. You could free flow shadow box. Now, I got my weights in my hand. Now, these are about 2.5 pounds each. So I know it might look like I'm moving slow, but it's definitely making my hands faster. That's why you'll see I'll do these burnouts right here. Really try to develop my speed, popping out a jab. Now, as you can see, while I'm throwing these combinations, after I'm finished throwing them, I'm moving my feet. I'm never standing still. Now, why? Why do I do this? Because it gets my body used to getting in a real fight. Because in a real fight, you're not standing in front of your opponent. They're not just going to stand there and let you hit them. You got to move your feet, especially with an opponent that's trying to attack you, really trying to hurt you and put it on you. You got to be able to utilize your footwork so you can avoid their attacks. So that's why you'll see I'm just having a bob in my step, working on different combinations. I'm really not thinking too much about the combos I'm throwing. The only time I'm usually thinking is if I feel myself not throwing enough of something, I'll typically try to enhance that movement. Like, especially, you'll see I'll throw a few jabs here. And again, I'm working my pivots, I'm working the body, I'm working my head movement. And some things I don't like watching myself is that I'm dropping my hands. Now, if you're doing this workout and you're at home, make sure that you're keeping your hands up. That's something that I could definitely improve on. But this video is about, I don't know, like a week old. So it's a little bit older. I have worked out since. I'll upload some overlay of my workout from today. I worked on some kicking, did some Muay Thai today on the bag, did 10 rounds, 3 minutes, 1 round rest in between. It was great. I definitely recommend if you're able to do that, you're in pretty good shape. So as you can see, 15-minute shadow boxing has gotten me in shape to be able to do those type of numbers. 10 rounds, like I said earlier, 10 rounds, 3 minutes, 1 minute off. The only reason I'm able to keep up and do the things I do is because of things like shadow boxing, keeping me in check, keeping me honest with myself. If I feel like I'm going too slow, I gotta push it a little bit faster. Now, my workouts do vary on the day. Some days I'll lift some weights. Some days my workout will just be this, literally just shadow boxing. I'll be at the park. You'll see some of my videos. I'll be at the park. I'll be at my front yard. I'll be at the gym as I am here today. So, yeah, as you can see, doing my uppercuts, throwing my jabs. I'm honestly just having a fun time working out. Now, this day particularly, I did feel a little bit slower than usual because I did lift weights prior to doing this workout. But now my workout has since changed. What I've been doing consistently is doing 100 reps of something. So typically I'll choose 3 different exercises. Like, I'll do a pull-up, and then I'll do dips, and then I'll do squats, and I'll do 10 reps of each all the way till I get to 100. So that's typically what I've been doing lately. Now, I have been feeling good. I did weigh myself today, so we're going down with the body fat. We're going high with the muscle, which is a good sign. However, I am striving for more, so doing stuff like this is just extra cardio, burning extra fat. As you can see, I'm not the thickest guy, but I'm definitely not where I want to be yet, which isn't a bad thing. That just means there's room for improvement. But if you feel that way too, let me know in the comments, because this is a community. We're getting stronger together. We're getting fit together, whether it's through boxing or MMA or just eating right, getting better mentally, physically, doing all that stuff. And I hope you are enjoying the video this far. If you are, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. And yeah, let's keep the workout going. Now, this is my first time making like a voiceover, a full video of just me shadow boxing. So I guess I'll talk about some key pointers here while you're moving. As I mentioned earlier, I'm constantly moving my feet. I'm working on going on the inside, working on the outside. What I mean by this is when I'm moving my feet on the outside, I'm not just moving my feet, I'm also throwing punches here. So I'll be either throwing a jab, or I'll stop and I'll pause, I'll throw a flurry, and then I'll get back to moving. Now, here I'm being a little bit lazy because I'm taking off my wraps, of course. While I'm taking off my wraps, if you're working out right here, continue to work out. Keep on punching. That's what I'm saying. Even though I had music in the background, I do not want to get copyrighted from YouTube. But we're back. Now you see the hands go a little bit faster now, especially with the gloves off. Now, Again, make sure that you're blocking your head. That's something I forgot to mention in my past videos. Make sure that you're blocking with your right hand, blocking with your left hand. It's sort of like I like to envision like I'm in medieval times and I'm holding a war shield over my face to protect somebody from hitting the sword. So I guess like our ancestors would do that. They'd be holding shields and shit and fighting with swords and all that stuff. But here I am. You'll see I'll block with the right, block with the left, block the body, block the body. Also parrying, catching, working all the defense. There's a lot of defense in boxing. And if you want to see a more in-depth video about what I'm talking about, you'll see here I'm blocking, I'm feinting, throwing my two. Just let me know in the comments if you want to see a more in-depth about more technical aspects in boxing. But here I'm just putting it all together, having fun, working up a sweat. That's all, literally all I could ask for. But on a side note, I got a comment from my last video saying, "Hey coach, how do you overcome fear?" Now, I was going to research this and really try to come with a heartfelt answer and like a very detail-oriented answer. But I think he's just asking for my experience on these 20 years of Earth. Now, fear is an essential emotion that you should be feeling. You shouldn't be trying to run away from fear. You should be actually running towards it. Now, I'm not going to come here and say that I never get afraid. I still get afraid to this day. Like, for example, this morning I was driving my parents. I was driving my mom and my sister. We were going to get some food. And my mom, we have this game where she'll just try to scare me out of nowhere, make me flinch. And she got me today. Now, my adrenaline boosted. And it's about the way you react when you get scared. Do you crawl up in a ball? Do you hide from the rest of the world? Or do you let that adrenaline and that fear push you to do stuff that you're uncomfortable doing? For example, when I first started jiu-jitsu and I started at the gym, I was never afraid. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't afraid to show up in the gym because I was just there to learn and get better. But as time went on, as I got better and I saw how good people were, I would actually be afraid to show up to the gym and train with these guys because I was getting murked day in and day out. There's a saying, you're either the hammer or the nail, and I was being the nail for the longest time. But to overcome this fear, I had to grow a pair of nuts and put on my big boy pants and force myself to go to the gym, force myself to train with the hardest people, force myself to train with these black belts that could kill me, literally kill me if they wanted to. And day in and day out, as I continue to show up for myself, that builds the confidence that I'm able to go in and realize, hey, I'm able to hang with these guys. I'm not getting killed all the time now. I'm able to actually roll and make it competitive. But to answer my guy's question right here, to overcome your fear, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but don't neglect it. Fear is such a natural emotion that people feel. Like, if you watch interviews of John Jones, he'll talk about how he'll be scared shitless before a fight. And a lot of these fighters do feel that way. They feel that anxiety just like the rest of us. But the only thing that lets them walk through that curtain and perform the way that they do is the training that they put in. Last year, I did sales, and a big aspect about what I've learned through sales is that proper preparation prevents failure. If I didn't have my pitch memorized to a T and understand the product to a T, then I wouldn't feel confident going up to a stranger and asking them, hey, who's your cell phone provider? And I'd be actually avoiding them, and that wouldn't make me any money. As you know, if you're from the United States and you do sales, if you don't get sales, you don't get commission, and that equals no money. That's why if you prepare yourself prior and you do the homework, whether it's sales, whether it's shadow boxing, whether it's going to MMA and practicing jiu-jitsu. So to end that question on a synopsis, make sure that you're preparing yourself to the best of your ability, and that's going to lead to less fear because you're more confident with whatever thing that you're doing. When I started this YouTube channel, I must admit, I was afraid. Until this day as well, if I was to post on TikTok or Instagram, I'm afraid of the backlash I'll get. I'm afraid of what my family would think. I'm afraid of what other people would think. Would they respect me? Would they not? Same thing as it was in real life when I was coaching, when I was a new coach teaching at these gyms. I was thinking, oh, would these people follow my commands? Would they do what I say? But like I mentioned earlier, all the jobs that I worked prior to the gyms that I work at now and doing the stuff that I do, all that prepared me for the jobs that I work now, all the coaching positions that I'm in. Hence, proper preparation prevents failure. And also, I'm a huge believer that you should be living comfortably at your edge. Please, please, please do not settle for mediocrity. Because my main point in this is you don't want to be 80 years old living with regret. Especially for myself, I don't want to be 80 realizing that I had this talent of being able to coach and be able to box, and letting the insecurity or the fear of being so young deter me from doing the stuff that I want to do and achieving the things that I want to achieve. Over the weekend, one of the gyms that I work at was celebrating 10 years of being open. And at the party, two different conversations really spoke out to me. I spoke to someone 5 years older than me, and I spoke to another gentleman that was about 25 years older than me. So one was 25 and the other one was around 45, 50. And I asked these two separately. I didn't ask them at the same time. I said, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self? Now, in the comments, if you're older than 20, I would like to see what you would go back in time and tell your 20-year-old self. But here's what the 25-year-old told me. Essentially, what he said was slow down, because time is going to keep going, keep going, keep going. It's not going to stop for nobody. And if you don't stop to smell the roses and realize that you're only going to be 20 years old only once, you're never going to be this young ever again. It's going to fly by as fast as you can snap your fingers. And I thought that was wisdom to my ears, because in my life, I could relate to that, where time just seems to keep going and going and going super fast. Especially, we're living in a crazy time that we just have a new president. A lot of things are going on. It's already November. It's about to be December. It's crazy. Like, it was just January yesterday. It feels like it was just 2020 last year. And next month is going to be 2025. So I really like that aspect that he said, just slow down and smell the roses. That's exactly what I've been trying to do. Now, I asked the same question to the 45-year-old. Now, what he had told me was to stay busy. Now, I was a little contradicted on the ride home. I was like, slow down, but be busy. How can I make that work? And that's something I'm still trying to figure out as well, how I'm able to slow down on my off days and continue to be busy. However, I do feel like I'm doing a good job at doing both. Yesterday, I went to the Don Toliver concert at the Barclays, which is awesome. So that was able, I'm trying to slow down, really enjoy it. At one moment in time during the concert, I just closed my eyes and I closed my ears, and I was just breathing wow, I'm 20 years old. I'm at the Barclays. I literally have no responsibility. I'm just having a fun time listening to good music. And I'm also staying busy, because the next day I had to be up at 4:30 a.m., teach some classes. I went straight home, helped my parents. Now here I am recording this YouTube video. I'm going to upload it later today. So it's safe to say that I'm putting that information that I'm learning together. I'm slowing down, really appreciating life this young, while also being busy and keeping myself occupied, either whether it's going to jiu-jitsu, going to the gym, doing these 10 rounds on the bag I did this morning, shadow boxing, as you could see in this workout on the phone right here. And another advice I would give to my younger self, I would say to my younger self, is record your passion, record your life, because you're never going to be this young again, like I mentioned earlier. And it's really fun to look back at these memories. This is probably going to be a video I look back on just to hear myself and see the way I talk and see how much I progress. So if you're passionate about something, try to make videos on it, even if it's not on YouTube, long form style. It could also be short form content like on TikTok or Snapchat. Just save it in the memories. And if you're passionate about boxing like me as well, please do not forget to subscribe. Like I mentioned earlier, we share that passion. I love this shit. I love the shadow boxing. You see the hard work I've been putting in as I've been talking. Just keep throwing these punches, keeping those hands up. And also, if you have weights, do not forget to keep using them. You see me constantly. I'll be wearing the gloves, I'll take them off. I'm wearing the gloves, I'm taking them off. Working different type of speed, different type of tempos. Always moving my feet. And remember, guys, when you're doing this, make sure you're staying consistent. For me, it would be best if you're able to do these type of workouts 3 times a week. But if you're able to do it every day, do it every day. Even just 5 minutes goes a long way. You don't have to do 15 minutes like I always do. You could do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, something to keep your body active. Because we do have a really big obese epidemic happening in this country right now that we could definitely fix through exercise, through eating right, through drinking plenty of water, to have a long, abundant life full of love, full of happiness. Anyways, this video is coming to an end. I just want to thank you guys. We haven't hit 500 subscribers yet, but we're going to hit it in the next few days. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.